persuasive speech writing. So just from this topic, just from the title, who could tell me what we're going to be doing? Brianna. You're trying to make people do something, right? You're trying to convince people, right? When do we typically see or hear, read speeches? What are some occasions that might happen? Zaylene?
When we're running for student council.
Running for student council? Victoria?
Probably if you're doing the slideshow and if you want to do like an introduction.
Kind of like an introduction? Yeah, of like your presentation or something like that, right? Are there any other occasions where you might have some speech or give speeches or listen to speeches? Can you guys think of anything else, Zaylene?
When people are running for president.
When people are running for president? AJ, do you have anything else?
She had mine.
She had your answer. Good. That's exactly what you guys are going to be doing. Okay? You guys are all going to be running for president. Okay? So you guys are going to be writing a presidential speech. You guys are going to be introducing yourself, telling them about what you wanted to do, and you're going to be concluding and try to excite people to vote for you. We're going to actually have a election at the end of your writing. After you're done with your writing, after you're done giving your speech, we're actually going to do a voting process. You guys are going to get a chance to vote for who you think should be president. Okay? So, on the slide it says, congratulations, you've been selected to run for the President of the United States. Now the whole country is waiting to hear your vision. What should you say? Okay, so just from your knowledge from student council elections, potentially listening and watching some of the presidential elections, what do they talk about in their speeches? What do they do, AJ?
Like how to make the school much better.
Ways to make the school a lot better. Good. Mm-hmm. Ways to make the world safer, right? Those are great points, great things that they talk about. You guys get to choose what you guys want to talk about, okay? So let's watch a video. What you guys are going to be doing is we're going to just introduce your introduction, okay? Ways to introduce your speech, ways to introduce your writing, okay? So make sure you're paying attention. We're going to be going over what you need to do to excite and interest your audience, okay? So as you're doing this, I want you to listen to the 3 main parts that you could potentially use to introduce your audience. It's very similar to what we've been talking about our hook and our opinion and our reasons.
Either tell a personal story, ask a thought-provoking question, or make a powerful statement. To illustrate each method, I will present the beginning of 3 TED speeches. In fact, these examples are given by Jeremy Donovan on his website. Starting with a personal story is the best way to prove you're an interesting speaker, because everyone likes stories.
Automatically, personal stories, what is that? From our persuasive appeals. What do you think, Zaylene?
A story that happened to you?
Yeah, it's a personal story, but what does it represent? Logos, ethos, pathos, what do you think?
Pathos.
Pathos? Why?
Because it's how you feel about your story from your perspective.
Right. You're using personal story to try to create an emotional response, right? You're relating your story to the bigger picture. Okay, so that's one way to introduce your writing.
You're almost certain to catch your audience's attention. For more on storytelling, check out my video on the topic. Now here's the author, Richard St. John, starting his speech very efficiently by telling how he became interested in the idea of personal success.
This is really a 2-hour presentation I give to high school students, cut down to 3 minutes. And it all started one day on a plane on my way to KED, 7 years ago. And in the seat next to me was a high school student, a teenager, and she came from a really poor family. And she wanted to make something of her life. And she asked me a simple little question. She said, "What leads to success?" And I felt really badly because I couldn't give her a good answer. So I get off the plane and I come to TED. And I think, geez, I'm in the middle of a room of successful people. So why don't I ask them what helped them succeed and pass it on to kids?
Okay, just from that little example, they showed you an example of how he told a story to introduce his speech. Okay, so from just that video, you guys should notice that it's a little less formal than your opinion writing that you guys have been doing, right? He even says G's, right? He uses very kind of common language, like you're having a discussion and you're talking to people, Okay? So when you're writing your introduction for your speech, it's okay to be a little bit more casual. It's a little bit less academic and more of just trying to convince, using your words to try to convince your audience to whatever it is you're trying to tell them. Okay? Let's go to the second two.
Another way to get your audience hooked is to ask a thought-provoking question. Your goal here is to push your audience to participate actively in their mind in your speech. To be really effective, it should be a why or how question. Obviously, nothing prevents you from combining this approach with the first one. You ask a question and then you tell a story. Now let's hear Simon Sinek starting his speech by asking some interesting questions.
How do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or better, how do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all of the assumptions? For example, why is Apple so innovative? Year after year after year after year, they're more innovative than all their competition. And yet they're just a computer company. They're just like everyone else. They have the same access to the same talent, the same agencies, the same consultants, the same media. Then why is it that they seem to have something different?
Okay, so what he says is a thought-provoking question. What do you guys do in your writing right now that might be the same thing as that? What do you guys do in your opinion writing when you guys say, I need to include a hook or a question or a statement or a story, right? You need a thought-provoking question. What's the difference between his questions and our questions? If someone, a lot of your writing starts with the word do. Did you know? Or do you know that this is my favorite place or this place is a certain thing, right? They said that you need to include why and how questions for your thought-provoking questions when you do a hook for your statement and your introduction.
The third way to catch your audience's interest is to jump in with some surprising information, like a statistics or an original opinion. Your goal here is to trigger a particular emotion in your audience. Here's Jamie Oliver's speech opening.
Sadly, in the next 18 minutes when I do our chat, 4 Americans that are alive will be dead through the food that they eat.
So, instead of starting with good morning, ladies and gentlemen, today I will blah 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 blah, open by grabbing your audience's attention. Tell a personal story, ask a thought-provoking question, or make a startling statement.
Okay, so those are the 3 reasons. What were the 3 reasons again that he talked about? 3 ways you could introduce your writing, Eli.
Tell a story.
Tell a story.
A thought-provoking question.
Thought-provoking question, and the last one, a powerful statement, right? Can anyone give me an example of a powerful statement? Okay, at the last one, he went really quick, but Jamie Oliver talked about how in those 18 minutes, 4 people are gonna die because of the food they eat, right? Automatically, what does that do, Celine?
It makes you think about food and if it's safe.
Yeah, right? That's crazy. That's a really startling, powerful statement, right? That 4 people died because of the food they eat. That automatically interests their audience to keep on listening to what he has to say. Okay? So let's go through a couple examples of what that might look like. Next slide. Okay, so for a personal statement, right? What does he mean by a personal statement again? Who could summarize that for me? Who's that? Cheyenne. Your own story, right? So you guys are going to be going into writing about ways that you would make a good president. Okay? So I'm going to show you an example of what I might be able to write. Okay? For a personal statement, I'm going to be telling my story. So how is my story going to be relating to the bigger picture? So if I could write something like, I grew up in a single family household, right? Just like millions of other Americans. Okay? Automatically, I'm relating my story to everyone else's story. So that's an example of a personal statement, right? So we could expand it a little bit more, continuing telling my story, what was special about me, and why is that going to help me become a better president, right? And why you should vote for me, okay? What about a thought-provoking question? What can I write for a thought-provoking question? What do you think, Celine?
Millions of people all over the world are growing up in a single family household.
Okay, we can say that. So, where's the question?
I forgot.
So, if you want to relate it back to that, we can, right? So, if you want to do like the about all the single family households, we could talk about other things that we might want to talk about as we're running for president, right? Like the idea of the American dream. So, let's say, how can we achieve the American dream, right? So, when I was growing up, the American dream was really big. That meant getting a house, getting a car, have a happy family, being able to afford all of these things, right? American dream has become harder and harder to achieve. By asking a thought-provoking question, how can we achieve it? And then why is it that so many people, they can't achieve the American dream, right? So that makes people begin to question about what that topic is, and then I could go into explaining how we can better achieve the American dream. Okay? Powerful statement. Who can summarize what a powerful statement is again? Brian.
It's like convincing people to listen to other people.
Yeah, it's kind of like the purpose of your powerful statement is to convince your audience, right, to believe in whatever it is you're trying to talk to them about, right? But what is an example? Logos, ethos, pathos. What does he use to convince his audience for a powerful statement? What do you think, AJ?
Pathos.
Pathos, why?
Because he's telling emotional stories.
Right? If he's telling, for Jamie Oliver's example, he told everyone about 4 people dying, that creates an emotional response, okay, to things that everyone does every day, eating their food, right? So for this instance, we could say something like, the American dream may seem like, let's see, the American dream is a dream that life is this dream is made possible by providing equal opportunities to all. Okay, whatever it is that your powerful statement is. Okay, so just remember when you guys are writing your introduction for your speech, you need to include three things: personal statement, thought-provoking question, and a powerful statement. Okay, so this is going to be your start for those of you that are done with opinion writing 3 to begin and start thinking about what your hook, okay, or what it is that you're going to write to interest your audience. Okay, so you guys are going to switch soon, but I want to hear your first sentence to a lot of your introductions for those of you working on opinion writing 4. Okay, so do you guys have any questions before you guys begin? Yes, Eli.
What about the brochure?
Don't worry about the brochure. Opinion writing 4 is your priority. Okay? If there are no questions, you guys are going to get started. Your speech writing is actually going to be due next Friday. We'll go over your introduction today, but your body paragraph is going to be tomorrow.